layouts in a popular magazine. The first portrayed the words "true religion" written in script at the bottom of the page below an attractive couple. The second spanned 2 pages. It read, "When all is said and done, have you done or said enough? Have you just gone along for the ride? Or have you steered destiny's hot rod? When you leave the world, did you make it any better than it was when you arrived? All you need is all you've got, your wits and the clothes on your back. Your epitaph is yours to earn. Your legacy is yours to make." And then in much larger, bold letters, "Go forth." The first referred to true religion as a brand of jeans. The second was a spread advertising Levi's brand of jeans. Now, one could bemoan that such religious themes are being co-opted by 2 blue jean companies as a marketing tool. We could also choose to see these marketing tools as one more indication of the erosion of the culture and its deepening secularization. Or one could see these examples as a call to the faith community to reclaim its own call to be a witness of true religion, which the letter of James says is to visit orphans and widows in their affliction and to keep oneself unstained from the world. In other words, our practice of religion is to recognize ourselves called out to live a life of holiness and make a difference in the life of others, especially the downtrodden and marginalized. Levi's seems to have a take on that. What of you and me? If you will ponder this with me for a moment, perhaps there is even something more grand going on here. What if, when you and I are so bold to pray as Jesus taught us, "Your kingdom come," God is actually answering the prayer all the time, right in our midst, everywhere? What if the showing up of hints of the gospel right in blue jean ads is a sign, however small, of the kingdom of God revealed in the most unexpected places, seeking to break in and take root? Who cares where it comes from, but can we name it and build upon it ourselves? The church, this diocese, each parish and faith community is to be a response to the prayer, "Your kingdom come." It is how we can be and become our diocesan mission statement, to be the passionate presence of Christ for one another and the world we are called to serve. We are to be places where the kingdom is seen, identified, and encouraged, with our unique colors expressing different voices, different perspectives, different gifts. We offer who we are and what we have. As the spiritual writer Cynthia Bourgeault says, there is an energetic continuum that runs through all creation. the way God has made us. And this is consistent with all wisdom teaching of the ages, as we discover that no absolute separation exists between what we call heaven and earth. Quantum physics teaches us about the beauty of the relatedness of all things. God is not merely up there. Again, Bourgeois tells us God is all over the place. God is up there, down here, inside my skin, and out. God is the web, the energy, the space, the light, not captured in them, but revealed in that vast net of relationships that animates everything there is. The awakened hearts can sense this, know this. When it does, the kingdom has broken in, even in blue jean ads. And to that grand way of viewing, you and I, bring our reality. It's not news to us that most in the so-called mainline faith traditions are struggling. There are many, many reasons for this, and we must not fall into simplistic explanation of that decline. Much of it is cultural, over which we have, in fact, little control. Our response to this out of controlness is no different than most people. When our foundations seem to be crumbling, people, just like you and me, get afraid. We tend to grumble more. We get dissatisfied. The temptation is to withdraw and become even more isolated from one another, which only fragments and causes more fear and more dissatisfaction. Nevertheless, we are called, as the people of God have been in every generation, to be faithful in this time, in the midst of whatever the cultural realities are. I've often heard people talk about our situation using the Titanic storyline as a metaphor. I have had people ask me if I believe the church is going to survive. By the way, that question's been asked every decade or so for about 2,000 years. But I get the question. But what if? What if, as the author Diana Butler-Bass says, the Titanic is not our story? What if the better story is that of another ship, the Mayflower? She writes, in this story, a boat of pilgrims finds itself in uncharted seas, blown off course by a storm and heading for an unnamed country. Like the Titanic story, there is a sense of urgency, confusion, and fear. But the ship is still intact. The leaders are not loading lifeboats. They are looking for land while they navigate the choppy and unfamiliar seas. In the Titanic story, leaders lead while the ship is sinking. In the Mayflower story, leaders stabilize a pilgrim community. And as they head into an unknown world. Is the story a crisis or an adventure? Titanic or Mayflower? We get to make some choices.